This video is sponsored by Dwight Street Book Club. Oh, I am tired. Let's say we get this big old body into bed, okay? Yeah, stupid dog flu. I knew I should have stayed away from that pub in the moors. My buddy Jack really wanted to go, though. Stupid Jack. I'm gonna hit the hay and dream of gay vampires. Oh my god! It's Dream Claudia!
Me. No, I'm Delaney.
Oh my god! It's Dream Delainey!
Sure.
Oh! Before we even get it, I have to show you. Check this out. My buddy's got these for me. They're Claudia's
Whoa.
diaries.
Yes, I can see.
Aren't
Oh
those
my God.
amazing?
I want those. My
Right?
favorite one is the pink bow.
The pink bow.
The last one,
Oh,
on the
this
other.
one
Yes, that
here?
one. Yes.
I
That was
mean,
my favorite diary.
all of them are like super cute. Did you get to
Yeah.
did you get to look at the diaries and everything like
I got
that?
to live in them. I got to write in them.
So that's
Um,
your handwriting in there too.
yes, you should see that later.
Okay. I always wondered, like when it shows like something that like a character has written, I'm like, do they actually have the actor do that, or is that an art person's job to just fill it?
Ellen. Ellen, in the beginning, like when we were finalizing Claudia, I met everybody from each department, and Ellen asked me to write a couple sentences out so that they can put them in, the other diaries that I didn't get the opportunity to write in. And I was like, wow, this is like the details here are crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it really is.
Thank you for stepping into my subconscious, even if you are just a fanciful figment of my imagination. Love that you're here. Speaking of Claudia's diaries and everything like that, Claudia says that she doesn't dream in her diaries. Do you,
Hmm.
Delaney, dream?
Yeah, all the time.
All the time. Really? Do you remember
Like,
your dreams?
oh yeah, I remember all of my dreams. I have this. Well, this is actually a nightmare. I have this about a donkey. I know. I think it was after I watched Coraline. It had a button eye and then it had a swirly eye. And it kept like bucking outside my house and I couldn't get into my house. um,
What deeper message might that have for
but
your life?
if you looked in the swirly eye, you'd get like sucked into another world somewhere. Um,
Oh my
but
God, I love
very
that.
weird. It's very, very weird. But like I love Shrek as well. So I do think it was partly the donkey. I'm not gonna lie, I do think it was the donkey in Shrek.
Did he have Eddie Murphy's
Memorized.
voice?
Pardon?
Did he
No,
have
it
Eddie
didn't
Murphy's
speak.
voice?
It didn't speak.
Okay.
Like Donkey was my favorite character in Shrek, and like I can recite Donkey's lines. So I guess as a child, something in my subconscious was like a donkey, and then I watched Coraline, and they were like, "Oh,
Perfect. Let's
yeah,
put these two together. I
yeah,
mean, taste, honestly, as a child, Shrek and Coraline, I mean, some of the best like children's media out there.
I agree."
I think that Shrek 2 genuinely is like one of the best sequels ever made. And that's
I,
including like The Godfather and The Empire Strikes Back. It's up there with those guys. It's
yeah,
phenomenal.
yeah, it is. Shrek is beautiful. Shrek is
It's
like,
it's it's a lot. I was Googling you, and I have to say, I was not coming up with a lot. So can you just really quickly tell me every single detail about your life, starting from the moment you were born?
yeah, I am born in March. I'm a Pisces.
March what? March what?
March 10th. That's all you're getting from me. No.
March 11th? Like
Wow.
we're birthday twins almost.
Oh yeah, I know a lot of people born on March 11th though, not March 10th.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know what happened with the stars then. And then, yeah, I started acting as a hobby. My mum was like, "You need something to do on the weekends," and I was like, "No, I don't." And she was like, "Yeah, you do." So
Was she trying to get you out of the house because she was like, God,
yeah,
you're
but
driving me
like,
crazy.
yeah, basically. And she knew I was like, I could have fun with these things, but I was kind of, I wasn't saying, yeah, I was a bit reluctant in a way, just being like, because I was nervous as a child. And then yeah, I did them, and then I loved them, and then I just kept going from there. And then yeah, I got a couple of jobs in the West End. And then miraculously, Rolling Jones knocked my door. No, I'm kidding. I knocked Rolling Jones's door and was like, "Hey, do you need a vampire?"
I'm your girl.
Yeah.
How is this? I mean, this is like your first big television role and everything. Like you're jet setting around the world. Like, how has that experience been for you?
If I didn't have the cast that I was with, I think it would be very overwhelming in a way. Whereas the guys have done a lot of like screen work and stuff, so they're very very supportive to me, and it's like they kind of teach me, well, not teach me, just show me the reins a bit of how it works here, how it works there. But I've just been enjoying the whole process. I know nothing, and ignorance is bliss, so I'm just going in having the time of my life.
You're just like, I'm riding this roller coaster all the way
Yeah,
down,
I'm
man.
riding this roller coaster called life. And yeah, honestly, I'm having the time of my life. I'm happy that, episode one is out and, our child has been given to the world. And yeah, I'm super excited for the rest of the series.
Okay, so I have to ask you, jumping into episode two, definitive answer, does Paris suck?
I don't know. You have to, you have to wait and see.
Okay. Being coy with it, I see. All right.
It's all about perspectives.
It is all about perspective. But
Yeah.
with like starting out though,
Yeah.
Paris does suck a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does. It does.
She's not having a goofy girly time at the beginning, our old Claudia.
No, and it's so yeah, it's so sad because it's what she deserves. But yeah, she's not getting that.
Do you say it's what she deserves?
Yeah,
Why does she deserve?
she deserves to experience Paris in its
Oh,
entirety and have the time of her life.
oh, I thought you were saying she deserves to be like lost and adrift and not feeling happy. And I was like,
No,
okay,
never, never, never.
this interview is taking a totally different turn than what I expected. So I know that most of the filming was in Prague. How much time did you actually get to spend in Paris?
I think I spent in total 4 days in Paris, 3 days in Paris. Um,
Really?
yeah.
That's it. Wow.
Yes. Yes, yeah. I'm just trying to think back. Yeah, it is. And it was really like when we got there, it was like, oh yeah, this is Paris. And again, I was having the time of my life. We filmed, it was a night shoot, so me and Jacob were like buzzing on coffee and Coke Zero and lots of sugar, and Sam came, and it was a really, really nice night. And it's up there with one of my favorite nights of filming. And Jacob's really, really spontaneous and lovely. And he randomly found an art exhibition.
Yeah.
We ran into it.
Like as like Louis and Claudia.
And we both forgot that we were kind of in costume. So when we were walking through it, there were people like looking at us, and we were like, what's going on? And then Jacob took a picture of me next to this really nice uh, portrait. And he was like, Delaney, I've just seen something. And I'm like, what? He goes, this is what we look like right now. And I was like, what? Show me. And it was, yeah. We
And you're
forgot we were,
like mud covered fur coats or whatever, and blood
yeah,
maybe trailing off of you.
yeah,
I could see how maybe that does not fit in like normal Parisian society.
yeah, fully. But you know what? Art is art. Art is subjective. So I think some people thought like, oh,
Yeah,
this
you
is,
guys are just like a performative piece, a part of this.
yeah, yeah.
You would have fit right in Colorado, I gotta say. They would have been like, "Did you just bag a deer? Good for you, hon." Start the episode. Claudia and Louis, they're on their path to healing. Um, do you think that this, you know, journey towards healing their relationship would have been possible if Louis hadn't made his vow at the end of episode 201 of like, it's you and me?
Yeah, I think in a way that they would have. I think Paris, she's got this idea of Paris, she's pursuing it, and I think they love each other enough to over time come over that. But I think his speech at the end of one did kind of help um, bring her in a bit.
Just a bit.
That's the TV really bit.
Inching their way back to each other. I love the beginning of the episode where, she's like, what makes you think Paris is a woman? And she's like,
Oh
I'll tell
yeah,
you what a woman is. And like just seeing their like bickering again.
yeah, and it's
And I'm
like
like,
play. Yeah, and do you know what? Filming that was insane.
so I was curious, like, is that like how
It's real.
are you
It's
actually up there?
yes. No, okay, not in Paris, but not in Paris,
Yeah.
but it was in a warehouse. There was this massive, massive statue. It was like I don't know. It was gigantic. I walked in and literally my head went like that. And we got on like a little crane ladder,
Uh-huh.
and we were hooked onto it so he didn't fall off. Everybody like looks like little ants, and it was really tall, and it was insane that they built that.
Are you afraid of heights at all?
Yes and no, depending how high we go.
What's the max that you can
um,
go?
I can do roller coaster height.
Okay.
I can do Eiffel Tower height,
Okay.
and that's what I'm calling it. Never been in the Shard, and don't think I'd like to be, maybe. But yeah, I don't know. Like I can test myself, but I'm also, the sweaty palms and stuff.
The shaky knees.
The indication to get down. Yeah,
My brain isn't afraid of heights, but my body is.
yeah.
Because like,
I think that's what I was trying to say.
yeah, because I'll like, like hiking and I get to the top of a cliff and I'm like, I want to see over the edge and I want to like get the photo of like me on the edge. And I
You're
start
just
doing
like,
it. And yeah, it's like my body takes over and it's like, you're stupid. Turn around, stop it. What are you doing? But I like that they like really put you up there. So you have the perspective of Louis and Claudia.
there's no cutting corners in this show.
I mean, Louis and Claudia's relationship, that's like the driving force, especially for the season two moving forward and everything. But, in the beginning of episode 202, she talks about how Louis's dependence on her is a burden. And she's in 201, even in her diaries, described Louis as dead weight. And do you think there's a part of her that maybe kind of wishes that she would have been able to escape how she planned in episode 6 of the first season without Louis? And do you think she would have been successful or reached a different outcome without Louis?
I feel like if she went by herself, yes, she would. But her love for Louis would be very prominent in her journey thereon. I think she would miss him too much. And I have to be realistic, given Claudia's circumstances. I think she would get far, but not far enough. She's not her circumstance makes it hard for her to really be able to protect herself in a way, which is sad. But yeah, I think she would have been successful, but she'd miss Louis a lot.
I mean, because they're kind of like, at least at this point in the story, seem a bit inseparable. And obviously, that's not going to continue for the rest of the season so much.
I don't know.
Do you think though, like, had they had they not met like the Théâtre and the Parisian Coven, do you think that they would have like stayed like was a split inevitable for them, or would they have stayed together forever?
I think eventually the split was inevitable. I think she's outgrown her company in a way. And Louis, I don't want to speak too much on Louis because I do love Louis, but his decisions just make me want to smash my head in the wall sometimes. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, basically. Yeah.
Louis, Louis, Louis. I mean, love the guy, but sometimes I just want to
Yeah, like
shake him by the shoulders.
I understand him so much. Like I feel some of what I resonate with him in a way, but then other times I'm like, the answers are in front of you. Like
The
oh,
writing's on the wall, man. You just got to
the
read it.
writing's the writing's in red on the wall. Like
The writing is in blood on the wall. Claudia's written it. Just take her advice and move on. So also in this episode, Claudia comes across the dressmaker Madeleine's shop, and she goes in despite, having a passerby warn her not to approach. Was it the dress or the person inside that lured her in?
I think it was both. I think it
Okay.
was both, but I do think it was more Madeline. Um, because if you see, she looks at the dress and then she's looking through the window, and she's looking through the window a bit longer than she's looking at the dress. And the dress is the thing that catches her eye, but I think the soul in the building is what draws her in.
And it's a tense, like, introduction there. I kind of thought that, I was like, oh, she's going in the shop and they're gonna meet and she's gonna make her a dress and like this is the start to a beautiful relationship. And then she's like, get the fuck out of my shop, man. And you're like, no, you're gonna make me this dress. I mean, how did you guys like approach setting up that scene and kind of the tone of, you know, what their first introduction would be?
Yeah, their first encounter, when we were filming it, we had lots of conversations with Levin, and we established that this is their first encounter. So it's something's bubbling, but we don't know what it is yet. Something is bubbling. Claudia likes something in this building, in this shop here. It's something, and we don't know if it's the dress. We know she likes the dress, but is that the sole reason? I don't know. You have to wait and see. And then then yeah, and then filming it with Roxanne, it was very playful and fun because we were just bouncing off each other, and it was kind of fun to like hate like each other, and act like we've never known each other before.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a bit of French in the scene, so Roxanne was helping me a lot with that, with my French, and it kind of encompasses their relationship as well. Like me and Roxanne teaching each other how to say French. Roxanne's fluent. I am not.
Uh-huh.
So it was like, yeah, it was kind of fun to like play it out finally.
Okay, so I mean, you've been very coy with me this whole time, so I don't know if I'll get anything out of you from this. I've said like so many times, this is gonna be a thing. Um, but like, you're like, I cannot confirm or deny, and I know that. But like Claudia is obviously, I think even talking with Hannah, um, and everything, she's like she's looking for her Louis, her Lestat. And there's a part of me that's like, she really shouldn't be looking for a Louis or a Lestat because obviously that wasn't a great relationship to like try to model your relationship after. And how do you think that, viewing this being like the main relationship that she's witnessed in her life will like affect her and what she's seeking out in a partner?
Well, I think initially, Louis and Lestat's relationship is the only relationship she's ever really known. She was their first kind of that was her first, yeah, run into a relationship like that. So that is what she's known and all she's known. And with Madeline, it's something very. I'm trying to word this in a way. It's something very pure, and she knows what she saw of Louis and Lestat's relationship. She knows there's elements of that she doesn't want in her relationship, that she doesn't want to emulate, that cause her so much trauma and pain that she will never revisit those. So I think, yeah, the fact that they run into each other is I wouldn't say perchance something draws her in, but it's very pure in a way, and that's what you say.
I just have like worries for her. Obviously, like with everything going on, but I'm like, you know, don't repeat the mistakes that you've seen in your life before.
Yeah. And it's like I want that from her as well, but it's like if we're being realistic, I think I said this before, but you know, when you see your parents argue or you see how they argue and you're like, that's insane. And then you grow up and then you learn that you argue the same way or
Yeah.
reasons that you've kind of absorbed from your parents. So I don't, yeah, I think that's the thing with Claudia as well. But she knows what she doesn't like. Whether she can change that, we have to see. I don't know. She is, you know, she's got Lestat's blood in her, and that.
She
Cute.
does. And I have to say too, obviously, so like we go to the theater and later on we know that Claudia is going to make her way onto the stage as well. The stage that in the theater that Lestat helped make and everything like that. You know, just following in his footsteps. And there's
Mm.
so many more similarities between Claudia and Lestat. Do you think that Claudia identifies and acknowledges that, or is she like total denial? No, I'm not like him.
I think surface level denial, but if you really sat her down and asked her, she knows that they are so similar. She knows it, but her hatred for him will suppress all of that. Yeah,
Always win out.
yeah, she'll never ever admit that. But yeah, no, she'll never ever admit that. But inside, I think she'll react to things and be like, oh, that's kind of similar to this that, but I am my own person, you know.
Yeah, that's Claudia, not Lestat coming through at all.
Yeah, I'm me.
Jumping back to Madeline in the dress shop and everything like that. So Claudia has a very, you know, unique relationship with Close this season. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so when she arrives in Paris, she's kind of absorbing her surroundings. She's noticing the fashion here, and she's older, so she wants to show that she's older. She gets into, yeah, she finds Madeline's dress shop. She starts venturing with her style, experimenting and trying to fit into Paris in a way. Like we said before, she is longing to fit somewhere, and she's trying to make that happen.
I'm kind of thinking of like, yeah, dressing to fit in and like trying to like make sure and force her way into fitting in. And then like
Yeah,
later on, you know, when we meet the coven and everything, and she's having that argument with Louis where he's like, they have a portrait of Lestat on the wall. He's their founder. And she's like, listen, all you have to do is just not think about him and block your thoughts. And I'm like, Claudia, girl, I mean,
yeah,
like saying that to the guy that's like had his ghost like linger over his shoulder this whole time, whispering horrible nothings into his ear.
yeah.
Like, I hate to say that, like, you might need to reconsider and maybe you're a little wrong, but do we think that's possible for Louis? But it's just so much of how she wants so badly for
Yeah,
this
and
to work and for it to fit.
it's really, really sad. Like it's the lengths that she is kind of subjecting herself to to find a family, to fit somewhere, when inevitably, due to her circumstances, that will never ever happen for her. Oh, that's so sad. Wow. Yeah.
I know. I've got my tissues here. I'm like, oh God. So we meet the coven. We go to the Théâtre de Vampire. Um, how much? I know with filming and everything like that, you're obviously not present for everything, but how much of like that first performance and everything did you get to witness?
We saw it all. We saw every single show. Yeah, 11 that
Really?
yeah, we saw them all and they were really good. Really weird, but really, really good. But that's, you know, the theatre of vampire. And yeah, it was like so we obviously we had been filming and they were making these shows. So we knew that something was bubbling. And then when we finally got to see them, we were like, oh my God, that's insane. Like, and I really hope, praying to God, that they like publish them somewhere, show them somewhere because the world needs to see them. Like the art behind it. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the projections, even like watching it,
Yeah.
I like had a moment where I was like, how are they
Yes.
doing that? How is that
Yeah.
real?
Same thing. And it's yeah, 1975. They're like uber talented, and yeah, the shows that they put on are so stylized. That like watching them because obviously when you're sitting in it, you're filming it. But it was like we were in it, we were watching it and those are our reactions, and it was beautiful.
With, Ben Daniels on stage and like him like floating up in the harness and everything. So was that also part of like you just got to witness that live?
Yeah, yeah, all of it. We're watching it like with you guys when you see the episodes. So, and Ben,
Loved that.
I would sing Ben's praises to the moon and back. That man is amazing. He is amazing. He is incredible. He is insane. Um, so yes, we're in for a real treat with Santiago.
I immediately, like for the first moment the spotlight comes on, I was like, sold. I'm in love
Yeah,
with him. I'm on board.
yeah, he's one to watch. He's incredible, like literally.
So obviously you're, singing the praises of Ben Daniels. Claudia is also seems, quite enamored with Santiago in the episode as well. But Santiago seems a little bit suspicious of our darling Louis and Claudia, and I'm a little nervous about, you know, this maybe potential, relationship between Claudia and Santiago and how that's gonna go. It's
Yes,
gonna it's gonna be just a wholesome mentor-mentee relationship, right?
fully, fully, fully. Like he's got her back 100%. We're gonna see it all play out.
They're blood brothers.
A
They're
lot.
exactly. They're besties number one.
Yeah, yeah.
Good. All right. Whew. Nerves quelled. We can all go on. Nothing bad's gonna happen for the rest of the season.
No,
No.
no, you did that.
Louis and Claudia, they go to the theater, they come back, they have their little argument where Louis like, we shouldn't go back. Claudia's like, we're definitely going back. And, she says, like, what are you afraid of other than your own lust? She seems initially to be kind of pushing Louis towards pursuing a relationship with Armand. Is that opinion gonna stick around?
Fully.
Fully, right?
Yeah,
She's Lumond shipper number one.
yeah, yeah. Locked in again.
How does, Claudia and Armand's relationship develop?
I think in the beginning she admires what Santiago is the head of. She admires the coven, what it represents, what they get up to, and the freedom behind it. And that's something that she is very much enamored by and is looking forward to joining.
Okay,
Yeah.
you keep your secrets. I love the little detail of, when they're meeting the theater and everything like that. Claudia even like specifically, they're like, and this is so and so, they do costumes, and she's like, great costumes. And again, it's just reinforcing this idea that like she's really paying attention to clothing and stuff like that in society. Did you have a favorite costume that you got to wear?
Yeah, I had several. I got to take one of them home as well. In my
Really?
closet over there. Yeah, and it's quite a
Fashion show, fashion show.
it's quite a big piece. Yes, and that's I don't know if you could guess which one it is, but it's quite a big number.
I'm thinking, is it blue or yellow?
I think it's blue. I
Okay.
think it
Okay.
might be blue. And
Okay.
yeah, I got to take some loafers home. Murder Mansion.
Yeah.
My little hat. I got to take that. My little beret. It's beautiful. Yeah, my favorite outfits were the ones that I fortunately got to take. And I love all of episode one outfits. Like I
I was
love
gonna
them.
say, like the difference between, the costumes in episode one versus the rest of Paris. I mean, I love all the Parisian looks, but seeing Claudia
You,
with like a cigarette and a gun and
yeah, and it's
like
like yeah, I think I like all of one because it's just so messy and grimy.
I loved learning that you guys had a little book club that met on Wednesdays. Was this like
Yeah,
a formal thing? Did you have to show up like on time with your notes and everything? Did Sam like have a chalkboard and a syllabus and every?
yeah. Sam had a choice, and we had to come smart casual. Um, so yeah, you had to put on your best attire.
Put the tie on. She's got a monocle. Do you have a favorite Vampire Chronicles book?
For me, I have to. It is Interview with the Vampire for me. It is. It really is. It
I
has to
mean, it's
be.
gotta be, right?
Yeah, reading the book, like I can't lie. I hadn't read the book before this, and I'm quite ashamed to say that before
I
this
I
job.
mean, I hadn't read the book until I watched the first season and I was like,
Okay.
what is this? And like I gotta like
Yeah.
go full crazy and read all of these books and get into this.
Yeah, because I find I love reading, but I do find it hard because I'm like super dyslexic. Um, and it's like
Same.
you have to keep me. And then yeah, and then Anne Rice did keep me, and yeah, and then I just read it all and it was really, really beautiful. And yeah, the way learning that Claudia is basically a representation of her daughter was like a big thing for me where I actually learned that towards the end of reading it, and then it kind of again shifted a whole nother level for me of the book. And I wanted to approach Claudia with so much love and so much care and do it to the best that I could.
Do you like have a favorite scene from interview, like from the book or anything like that?
Do I have a favorite scene?
Or even like, is there a scene like that you really, really from any of the books would love to see done on screen?
I was thinking about it. I was scrolling through the book. I think it is the Revenant. I think yeah, for Claudia, I think it's the Revenant.
It's
The
so
Revenant.
creepy and cool and different from anything else that like the rest of the books do.
Yeah, yeah, and I actually didn't really expect it. Yeah, and then when I was reading it, I was like, oh my God, like maybe we shouldn't be here, guys. Like maybe we shouldn't be here. Like
Let's
uh,
go back to New Orleans.
yeah, go back to New Orleans. Well, can there be a more offensive question?
I mean, I know,
Uh,
right?
yeah,
Go back to America. You can like hang out in New York or something.
yeah. I love yeah fantasy. Like I love exploring elements of that. So when that was in it, I was like, oh yeah, okay, we're going.
I'm in it now. So I watched like a couple weeks ago, AMC, they had this some sort of event where they were asking like all the stars on the red carpet like unpopular opinions.
Oh
And
yeah.
everybody else, they were like, "Oh, let me think." And you just came right out the gate. You had it lined up.
Do you know
And
what? I lied there.
you did?
No, I didn't like it. It was the first thing that popped into my head, and then afterwards, I was like, "No, people can wear what they want to wear. Who cares?" Like,
Like I
but
actually don't
my
care.
head went, you know, white socks, black shoes. Like, I was just like, "Yeah." And then as I walked away, I was like, "No, I've definitely done that before." And I got sent it, and I was like, "Oh, I did say that. Why did I say that?"
Well, I'm gonna play a quick little game with you
Okay,
called Fangs or Fine. Fangs means this is a murderable offense, okay? It's a no bueno.
okay,
Fine obviously means it's fine.
okay. Yeah,
You ready?
really.
Leaving the toilet lid open. Fangs are fine.
Bang.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, shut it because all the germs that are coming out of that, you need to shut it out of respect for everybody else.
Yeah, I get like weirded out. Public bathrooms, it's all just like
Yeah,
out in the open. It's so
yeah.
gross.
And you know what I kind of found in America was a shock to me?
Yes,
The toilet cubicles, the gaps are so big that
they're
the people walking.
huge.
Yeah, yeah, that was new to me.
It makes no sense. It
Yeah,
drives me insane. I don't, why? Is it that hard to like make a door that fits the cracks? They do it everywhere else in the world.
yeah.
Like,
It was very weird.
it's really weird, and I think it's maybe like something just like meant to, Americans, they tend to be like overly confident. Maybe this is a way for our infrastructure to try to humble us so that,
Mm,
we could be like, you know what, at any point someone can see you peeing on a toilet. And isn't
yeah,
that the most humiliating thing?
yeah.
It's horrible. There's some too. Some places I go in, I'm 5'10". I've got some height to me. So not only do they have the gaps, but the like door only goes up to here.
Oh my God.
So like when I stand up, I'm just staring at people. I'm like,
I can imagine that. Yeah.
hi, I'm pulling my pants up. How are you today? Next one. Shoes on in the house.
Okay. So that is fangs.
Ketchup on the fries instead of by the fries.
I used to be a buy the fries person, but as I've got older, it's I'm gonna say fine. No,
I don't know that we can be
I don't.
friends. I don't
I feel like
know. I just don't know.
life's too short now, so I as long as the ketchup's on the chip, the fries, it's good with me.
Um, Biking on the sidewalk. Fangs are fine.
Um, I'm adding context to all of these. Like, it's not that's not. I was going to say, well, if a parent is with their child and the child needs to ride the bike as well.
I will say, I think like going to New York, that's definitely
In New York, that's fangs.
that's a fangs for sure. But biking on the sidewalk, that's okay if you're not in New York.
Well, not even in London, really. So that would be a fang then.
Pineapple on pizza, fangs are fine.
Fine.
Fine. Who cares, right? Why do
I
people
love
get so bent out of shape about it?
Yeah, I mean, I used to be one of those people as well. Then I tried it, and my world changed.
Everything changed.
Yeah, I saw the future.
Talking on the phone in a public bathroom.
That's fine with me.
Last one, uh, using somebody's library card to check out a book, losing the book, and then not paying off the library fees for 3 years, ensuring that the person who owns the library card can't use it for that time. Is that a fangs or fine?
I mean, if there's good reasons, no, I'm joking. I'd say that is a fangs.
Okay, good, because I'm sending this to my little brother
Okay.
immediately after this, because he did that to me. And
Okay. Okay.
the judge has weighed in. Delainey
Okay.
says that that's a fangs. You were in the wrong.
Yeah, it's fangs. Although I may be guilty of something along the lines of that, but we won't get into that now. I'm
You're
scared.
fine. You're fine. I'm your judge now, and I'm pardoning you. I'm saying you're not guilty, okay? So you're good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do you have any final words for the viewers about season 2 and Claudia and her journey and all that jazz?
Yes. I am looking forward to everybody seeing season 2. Claudia's full story is told like she deserves. And she is a beautiful soul that is full of love and full of fire. And stay tuned because there is more to come. There's more craziness, there's more beautifulness. And I'm super excited and I'm super nervous, but I am. So, yes, just please look forward to season 2 and the episodes to come.
And I don't want you to feel like I'm blowing smoke up your ass or anything like that, but I just want to say you're doing amazing. I love, love, love you in this role, and everybody does. I'm not joking. We all love you so much, and it's a pleasure to watch you on screen, and it's been a pleasure chatting with you today.
Thank you so much, Autumn. Yeah, it's lovely to hear that.
This is our shot through the heart, getting shot through the heart by
Cheers.
Delainey Hayles via Claudia. Cheers. It's great to hydrate, folks.
Yeah.
This has been a lovely chat, and I'll see you some other time.
Yes, I'll see you.
All right. Well, have a good rest of your day.
Bye bye.
Where am I? Oh, yeah. I took a nap. I mean, that was some interactive sleep, I gotta say. It all felt so real. Too bad it was all just a dream. Or was it?